Alright, looks like everything's good. Time to get started. Cool, alrighty. Well, hope everyone had a good weekend, first and foremost. Now, let's have a look. We've got German 40 here. I had a nice little trade on gold already. We'll talk about that in a second. Hey Glenn, Leon, good morning. Alright, so we'll let German do its thing for the next little while. I'll do a little quick analysis, and I can mull over that while I do the other analysis as well. So we saw, it was annoying. I had a trade on. Where's my pen gone? When is Samuel? Okay, I had a trade on this on Friday. Basically from this guy. It was just running from the like almost just before the New York session started, and price, it came up like this is the candle. Price came up, it gave an indication to sell. This is when I was actually out on the road, so it was a phone trade, and I had my target this area, this fixed line. And price just hung around and hung around and hung around and hung around and hung around. And then I didn't want to leave anything over the weekend, so I closed it. Closed it like an hour before the market closed. So it was like here on this blue candle. And then it gapped down to target, which is just typical. 2 days in a row that I got stuck in the trade on German when NAS was going amazing. So on the Thursday, I was in a trade here, and that was just hanging around. And then I closed it for like marginal profit, and then it gapped down basically to target. And then the same thing happened on the Friday, so really annoying. And because I was in that trade as well, like I was busy Thursday, Friday afternoon, evenings, so I couldn't really follow it too much. But then whilst I was looking at that, NAS had great moves from like the London close, over 130 pips, whereas German just gave nothing. So I think you were saying, Russ, that you got taken out by like a pip here before it dropped.
It was literally it was the spread that stopped me out. It was so frustrating.
Really annoying. So today, what I'm looking for, just before we see more of the London session, there's no news really scheduled. We've got a little bit of there's no news scheduled really. This is it up here. So we've got a couple ECB speakers, and that's it. ECB's Digindos to speak. So see what he says. Then you've got Bank of England. They've got the interest rates on Thursday. And then he speaks again, because he can't he can't say everything that he wants to say in one meeting, I guess. Then we've got Japanese newses. Very, very late though. You can see this is basically Tuesday now. So it's a fairly quiet day on the docket. It gets very exciting later in the week from Wednesday onwards. I'll show you Forex Factory as well. Oh my god, G4. What is that? Forex Factory. So you can see there's just nothing. Literally nothing going on apart from the ECB speakers. Now we had a bit of an escalation in the Red Sea over the weekend. So you can see drone attacked, and they actually, we won't talk about too much, but basically attack on the US. Some US soldiers got, I think, killed in the drone attack, 3 of them. So it's led to a bit of an escalation. Now, what happens when there's an escalation? What benefits from that?
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah, it gives you the FUD.
Safe haven currencies, gold.
Yeah, so gold. So when I saw that, there was a good chance for gold trade. So we'll talk about gold in a second. Now, for normally like an actual escalation wouldn't be good for equities either. But I'm not sure if that's going to affect things too much just yet. We had an Asian session. Asian session was fairly small, apart from the gap down. We just ranged in the Asian session. We're pushing up into the New York session here. We broke above this little bit. Just disregard this line. That's all they can go. Now, we're seeing a reaction. I'm actually looking. Obviously, we're in a very bullish trend. Very bullish trend. So what I'm actually looking to see is if we can pull back into this Asian session. Not necessarily break the low though, but I'm looking to see if we can pull back a little bit and then see if we can get buys somewhere inside of here to push up. All-time highs right here, so it's right in focus. So I'm looking for that. If we just push up cleanly and break out of this area before London Open, then I'll be looking to see if we get fake outs below the Asian high. The all-time high. So fake outs around from above here, down. That's if we push cleanly up. So it's kind of in, don't really know what to do, to be honest. When it's in such a bullish trend, that you're buying the high, which is fine, but we need to make sure it really can go up higher. So for that to go up higher, I'd like to see London do some sort of liquidity grab. So either one like this, where it pulls back a bit to accelerate, or one where it can pull back a bit deeper into another like lower support. So I don't mind if it comes back into this gray area low, but I would want to make sure that I'm trading on this side of the triangle if it's going to be pushing back up. So I'd need to see some sort of rejection once it's below here, looking for a fake out. All right, so yeah, we'll just have to see if we can actually make a new all-time high, or if we can let London do a fake out to then hit the all-time high. If we push that cleanly, I'll look for London to eventually counter that move. Now for gold, because of this war news, we saw a gap up like 80 pips, an 80 pip gap. Come on. All right, here we go. So we saw an 80 pip gap up. FX charts, they don't show the gaps, it just connects the candles. But there was a gap on MT4, so it gapped up to 2024. That's where it gapped up to. So market closed here. So this essentially looked like, when I saw it at 11 o'clock my time, UK time, it was essentially like this. So I had a buy order at 2022. About there. So 2022 price pushed a bit deeper, but then I held this all the way until 2028. It just closed out about here. So just about this Asian high. So I was hoping to hold it, but it was still 60 pips, and I was pretty happy with that. So yeah, now it's we've escalated things and we've just pushed up. Now we're about to hit fill this whole zone. So there could be some good gold buys potentially, but we have moved a very long way since market open. Well, basically since Friday close, we have moved up 150 pips now already. So did anyone grab any of that? Pretty exciting. Exciting moves for Asian session. Morning to Mimi. Guerrero, good morning. Castle Travel, no I don't. Trevor, good morning mate. Cool. So I'm expecting the gold just to continue pushing, but now a lot of the move's been done, I believe. So I can get a little bit choppy. We're back inside this range again, this area. So we're clean candles down, clean candles back up. Hey Peter. Let's see what we do at this 2035 range area, top end of it. See if we do another little fake out to start pushing down and correct some of that move. But we've got a little bit of a tricky area now with these guys. 3 rejections at this area, but now we've had a bit more fear crept into the market. So I would expect to be just holding the bullish bias, but we could get some nice little 30-40 pip reactions from this area for sell side. So all right, now, oh, look at Nas, man, 20.29% change. Oh, it's not too much. That's not too much. So that's the new all-time high again. US, so S&P threatening to push up and make a new all-time high. We've got earnings season still amongst us. So when does Alphabet earnings, when are they? Tomorrow. Okay. So Amazon is Friday, damn it. Same day as wait, 31st. No, Thursday. Day before, so just after FOMC. Amazon, Alphabet. Who's the other big one? Nvidia, I think. Earnings. Oh, not till way later. Okay, Meta. So Meta and Amazon on the same day. Cool. Alphabet and then Google tomorrow. Are we looking for a reversal on Nas? I wouldn't be. I'm not yet. Even though we're seeing some lower highs in the New York sessions, it's pretty hard to short this thing. So, especially leading up until Wednesday. So the market is pulling back. So initially the market had predicted, priced in about 7 rate cuts. The Fed have always said maintain their position for 3 rate cuts. Now the money funds, the odds, the Fed watch odds, have pulled this back down to between 5 and 6 rate cuts. So we're getting closer and closer to some sort of agreement between what the Fed say and the markets. The markets are pricing in. So if this gets reduced further, so if Powell on Wednesday, he's expected to hold. I have no doubt that the interest rate's going to be held at 5.25 to 5.5. Okay, no doubt they're going to hold. Now it's up to him whether he pushes back on 1 to 2 rate cuts before end of year, before halfway through the year. So the next, it's the, I think it's the March and the May, or the May and the June. One of these is basically, anyway, they're pricing in 2 rate cuts in these 3 months. 2 of them, whatever the meeting dates are. Just so I can be accurate, I'll find it for you. Fed watch CME. Okay, next meeting is 31st of January. So March, no, they hold. Okay, so it's May and June. It's these two over here. So May and June, the odds are that they cut in May and also in June. Now, can Powell push back on that? If Powell pushes back on that and they start repricing odds again to say 4 to 5 rate cuts by the end of the year, then we should see equities just taper off a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. So that's what I'd be expecting. So it comes down to Wednesday. Is he going to push back and temper the market's expectations, or is he going to be soft and he's going to be dovish and he's going to not say anything? If that's the case, the markets will take that as a bullish sign. And we could then resume this trend. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today. Looking ahead in the week, it's a very exciting week this week. So starting on Wednesday morning kicks off with Aussie CPI. Then we've got some US non-farm employment change and then employment cost index. This New York session on Wednesday will be awful. Will be absolutely awful. Not until Fed funds rate. I reckon the market will just go sideways. So, but then things kick off. We've got the funds rate where I don't expect much volatility in the actual announcement. Maybe there might be some things in the statement that can spike the market, but that will take time to trickle in. But the main one's going to be 7:30 when he starts talking. 7:30 UK time, that is. Then we've got Thursday, we've got Bank of England interest rates. So this should be pretty good for, should have some effect on German 40, at least the FTSE anyway. And then we've got on Friday we've got non-farm payroll, which has been given massive reactions lately. So pretty good week for news if you're a fundamentals guy or girl. Trevor, you think the bullish trend will continue? Yeah, so do I. All right, so gold. Now where's gold? You said pulling back, is it, Chris? Oh, we spiked up. Jeez. Yeah, fast moves the false move. Little 30 pip spike in that candle. All right, what are your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I entered on that second candle, Hayden.
Good one. Nice little move there.
We'll see an entry on the 1 minute.
Your entry is on the one. Sarah's in there as well. You guys are your little scalping machines. Any books I recommend? Interesting ones are like your mindset ones, like the Trading the Zone, Market Wizards. They're good ones. Quite like Market Wizards. Hey Dan, how are you, mate? What indicator to use for sessions? So this is the one by one of the members wrote for us, called Gym Sessions. But there are plenty on here. If you just type in sessions, Lux Algo, that one's a good one. I'm kind of torn. Which one do I want to watch? Do I want to watch gold for London session, which is notoriously not very good, but today they've got a little bit of a catalyst. So most of the time you see gold, because we're only going to be here for the first part of the London session. You see gold, typically, not always, but typically, you can see in these little pink boxes, the little number up the top is the total range that it's moved. And you can see that for the first, like say 2 hours of the London session, which is typically what we're here for, price only moves only a little bit. So you can see like this is 91 range, so like it's 45 pips, about 45 pips, 45 pips, about 45 pips, 45 pips, 60 pips, about 40, 50 pips, about 45 pips. So it's very little range, 45 pips on average for the last like while. So I don't really want to sit here and watch gold. So we have it, I'll have it on German open for German 40, and you can see on here now we're getting, I have to change this back to indices. You can see in the London session we usually not always, but we usually get a lot more movement. Hey Ivan, how are you? Oh, oil fry, gosh, yeah, oil went crazy as well. It went up like $78 per barrel. Yeah, crazy. I hate oil. Absolutely hate it. Yep, made 6% on that trade. Nice. Okay. Now, German. Where are you going to go? Got 2 minutes before they open. So, where can London, if London wants to do a little spike, let's make this full screen. So, 30-minute chart, got down here at the bottom left. 15-minute chart, top left. 5-minute chart, top right. 3-minute chart, bottom right. So if German can hold above this area and really hesitate, then I think if it can just push straight down and hesitate, then I think I would like to give it a go if we can, if it's just simply that, a liquidity grab. I'll be visualizing the next 30-minute candle to be closing something. If it can spike down and then eventually start breaking its way above, then that'll be pretty interesting on that. All-time high of gold is like 21.30 or something like that, or 21.70. At 2,170 or 2,130 by memory. Yep. All right, so starting to push. Hey Tom, starting to push already. Could this just be that little pullback before the drop? Now my timing was off on Friday. It took me two really annoying losses, where price, because I didn't want to have a wider stop loss below the like higher time frame wick, and the thing bloody came back, stopped me out. Then I gave it another chance afterwards, which ran, but it was this where was it? Yeah, it was. See, look over here on the 15-minute chart. I got in, so took two losses on this candle on Friday. Two losses. Stop loss should have been under here, but stop loss was there. So it pushed down, took me out, got back into it, and then we got that run up. So I'm just careful of price spiking down to get my stop loss again. So I'm going to be a little bit careful. Plus it's Monday. We want to start well. So we gapped up with London Open. So I'm pretty keen to see it show a bullish strength, but then looking for London to actually do a liquidity grab before pushing up, and just be careful of that wick if it is going to go up. Oh shoot, what am I doing, man? Okay, what's the general bias, guys? What are you thinking?
Sell to buy.
Sell to buy. Ivan thinks the same.
Yeah, I'm sell to buy as well if it goes to the Asian low. But if it peaks up really high, well, I'll sell it down to the Asian low.
Five minutes looking good for a sell-off.
Dougal's bullish. Joe, yep, I wanted to go down to Asian low 2 and shoot up. Dan M, sell to all-time high. So sell to buy as well. Tom, Asian 50%. Similar to where the Tokyo fix is. Also bottom of a mid-morning gap. Yeah, I'm going to try catch up with Bruce Lee and then and discuss this and how we can incorporate it. Quantum 16914. Oh, because you're bearish, aren't you? You're saying futures will fall back likely if they hold support. So I want to see something close back above up here. I mean, this area, these 5-minute charts have already closed. Well, it depends on which structure we're looking at, to be honest. Because we see this as a range. See this here as a range. So we're already closed inside with these guys. But if we see this as a range or structure, then we haven't broken inside of it yet. So I'd be pretty keen for something to close I'll just move this price out of the way. Okay. I'd be pretty keen to see something close above this red line, which would be 16,930. If it's come into if it's closing near the, say like the 830 mark, then I would be, that'll be this 30, I'm on the hour chart still down here. That's the 30-minute chart. So say it's closing up around this 1930 mark. Near the close of that 30-minute candle. Then any other candle, you just got to be mindful of the bottom wick. And how low that bottom wick would go. Whether it takes the low of it, if this is like if there's a doji candle underneath here. On the hour, there is a doji candle. That's what I'm getting at. It's this candle here. So will price take the low of that? Ideally, we see something push down like that and grab liquidity from here, and then be pushing above. That'd be really nice, especially because there's a bit of imbalance here, and we've got that gap that's unfilled. We're just going to break Glenn's trend line. 5 minutes looking good for the sell. Yeah. Got the wick, and then this one.
Was it from them? A weak candle
No wick candle. This one.
on the 5.
Yeah, it's the same same candle. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty close to the Asian 50 as well. Yeah, that essentially was the Asian 50.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, leader fan, Johan. You're in the 5 minute, waiting to see if it inverts the bullish FEG. You wait, so you see if it rejects up here, down here, and then pushing up. Right here, reacted off H1. FUC. Oh, FU candle, FU zone. Yeah, nice reaction. Lovely reaction so far. That's that area below that doji I was talking about. Okay. If it does, you're going to look for a short entry targeting the bullish. Last M5 bearish bar just closed, wicked into the bullish. I wanted the FAG inverse to consider shorts. When is AMSL earnings? Okay, I want to see if it can just push into this zone a bit more. Interested to see what it will do from here. This is the London 50% from yesterday, from last Friday. Also, guys, please don't forget to give the stream a like if you can. It really does help. Might be nice to buy from H1 bullish engulfing wick a little bit lower, like this area. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for as well. Good
zones in.
What do you say?
There's a few good zones there.
Oh,
Asian hot, London 50, today's Asian 50.
Yep.
Eastern.
I want to drag into it.
Very better next time.
And you've got the 4-hour necklines as well,
Hmm.
like all across here. So
Yeah.
there'll just be a really nice area, just for at least a reaction from like around here. Whether that reaction can turn into something amazing is yet to be seen, but at least a reaction from 16,900. Initial target, maybe 30 pips. So initial target, then if we can close inside of here, then it opens a door for another 30. So that's my idea. That's it. Let's get a new line here. So I'm just putting here like whether it's up to you if you want to wait for confirmation or take impulsive. I'm not going to put in the trade box because I don't want to influence anyone for where your stop loss placement is. Because if you had a wider stop loss on Friday's move, you would have been just fine. And whether you gave it a second chance or not, like I was comfortable with the idea. It was freaking annoying getting stopped out first and then having to get back into it. But I know a lot of people as well, if it was not your idea to get in, but you got in and then took a loss, probably wouldn't have got back in. So you would have missed out on the profits, and the stop loss needed to be a little bit wider, at least below the hourly candle's bottom wick. So I apologize for Friday. So I'll let you choose where you put your stop loss, but I'm looking to enter something from around this area, preferably with a liquidity candle. So I'd like to see something like a 3 minute or plus, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, whatever minutes. I'll be pretty cautious on 1 and 2 minute, but it might be a quick one that you only get it on the 1 or 2 minute, but basically looking for a candle that if this is pushing down, something that breaks the lows and then closes nice and bullish, or a bullish engulfing candle or something. So that could be the confirmation that you want to wait for, or if you just like the level, or whatever level that you already planned, maybe you just get in at that level and think this is just a pullback, but you are catching something that is falling. If you're lucky, you got the bottom. You don't need to get the bottom. If you're anticipating like a bounce, you don't need to get the bottom. You can get like the bulk of the move and then wait for some sort of price action to show you that perhaps the low is in. Or you could be aggressive, it's up to you. Bouncing perfectly off the 15-minute VWAP. Let's see if it holds. 1914 obviously depends on your platform's price. Oh yeah, that's a good point, Quantum, because you said 169.14, but it depends on your a lot of brokers 10 pip different than Pepperstone. So this price here says 16,910. A lot of brokers would be 16,920 right now. The price action is exactly the same, or more or less the same. It's just where the liquidity providers quote them a different price. So whenever someone says like specific numbers, like this 16,900 on your platform, it might be 16,910. Yeah, that's it, Peter. So yours is 9 different now. If anyone's using Pepperstone, than price feed, then you'll be getting the same. One thing I just don't want is that sort of one-sided move where it's just down, 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 down. Then it just sucks being here watching that, because you think in hindsight you're like, oh, I should have been in those cells, but it really depends on your initial bias. All right, well, this is bouncing off the wick of the bullish engulfing candle on the hour. So this is that initial reaction. So I'm going to zoom in. Hour's the bottom left. You can see the wick. This candle here was the bullish engulfing candle. This one. And this grey zone was the wick. So we've had a nice little 7 pip reaction so far from the wick. Gold's moving higher, 2032 again. Resistance candles appearing on 1 minute, are they? Am I reading your message late? So far, the 5 minutes looking strong. Sorry, Tom.
Sorry, mate.
Go ahead.
No, just the wicks were appearing below, but then the closes were within the previous range. That was all.
Yeah, 1 minute's a finicky time frame.
It is.
5 minutes looking good. 40 seconds for it to close back above. Hey Rob, are you in here twice with the two Robs?
I'm up the top as Robert.
Okay, the second Robert, lowercase Robert. Is this Robbie D? Ah, cool. You are. That is cool. Let me know how you're going, because I haven't caught up with you for a while. Because I know you had a rough patch.
No, he's been loving the great outdoors.
What's that? Sorry.
He's getting out loving the great outdoors, mate.
Oh, is that where he's been?
Yeah. I'm keeping up on the nice photos. I'm good.
Where are these nice photos? I haven't seen these nice photos.
You're not privileged, mate.
Oh, first day back, you've been away. Oh, gotcha. Alrighty, guys, look at that. That 3 minute wick down, flip back bullish. 5 minute closed nice. Could have closed nicer, but it closed nice.
Very nice.
Come on.
Yeah, very resistant.
What was that, mate?
Gotta break this resistance. I've had a few little trades in there, but I'm holding my lowest position.
Mm-hmm.
It's destined to stop me out there.
Ah, Todd, you're here as well. Great. Yeah, guys that I haven't spoke to for a while, message me on, DM me on the Discord. Give me an update. Okay, so this is potentially 3 minute setup. It's just a little bit higher than I'd like, but price pulling back to retest this wick, engulfing candle wick. Really want to see it just push down to like a. I'd like to see something like that. And then get it back above here. This could be a fake out, could be a liquidity candle. Five minute looking like a negation. Oh, good call, Ivan. Very good call. Yeah, if this 5 minute closes, this is a range. This is a range now. Why is it a range? Because you've got a rejection wick from the bottom and you've got a rejection wick from the top. So I'd like to see another rejection wick from the bottom. I really want to see something like that. Market maker changed the way the algo works now. German 40 would avoid trading it for the time being. How so? How so? What do you mean? Because I thought last week was actually pretty good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I thought it was really good. Thursday, Friday, I thought it was hard after the interest rate decision, and like they're real just. When Christine Lagarde spoke at the press conference, she didn't really say anything, and then the market took it as quite dovish, and now that narrative is getting tossed around that she was dovish, but I didn't actually see that she was that dovish. She just kind of said nothing, so I felt the market's in a real strange position right now. Maybe that's what you're meaning, but tell me what you think. I'd be interested to hear. Pretty quiet open. We only moved 23 pips. We've been here for half an hour now. So Naz is moving a bit. Naz has actually moved a lot more than German has. German's kind of wasting my time at the moment. Let's check French 40. Yeah, even French 40 looks like it's got a bit more volatility in it. Stocks.
Same thing's happening as Friday. All the European markets are moving except for German. It's just sat there.
Sucks, eh? Worst waste of time.
We've been on the other side though.
Yeah, we have. We can't complain for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday last week. But it's annoying still, nonetheless.
Yeah.
So Euro. Oh gosh. Look at that price action. Jeez. All right.
Yeah.
Are you in footsie, Russ?
No, unfortunately not. I'm in a long DAX, but not going very far.
Let's check footsie. Yeah, the footsie look right nice. It's just German. Come on. But it's looking good. It is looking like it's promising to push up, yeah, out of this area. Beautiful. Can we close above? Oh yeah, closed. All right. Can we push up now? One hour's looking promising. Just like to see it. Just if this 1 hour can start, like if we can in the next 25 minutes start pushing above this orange line, then we're looking really good, really good. And that's what that candle is drawing at the start of the session on the hour time frame, is visualizing that the hour candle has come down below this bottom wick and it's starting to look something like that. We just need to get above this orange line, which is looking really good for. That HCS was that one. If you took the anticipation retest of this candle. Yeah, apart from that 5-minute closing above, like this one, the 3-minute still is trapped in that range. Still trapped. Yeah. Come on, man. Maybe I've got to get a coffee to get things going. Give you guys the signal.
Yeah, Naz is really pushing now.
Is it? Damn it. Damn it, man. Gold's not doing anything. It's just Nas moving. Nas and FTSE. Do you guys have any thoughts about yesterday's study session? The ones that were there or have seen it? Any questions that come to mind? Do need to discuss as well, that we didn't get time to, is when you are looking at which ones to invest into, is make sure it is domiciled in your country as well. You don't have to deal with US tax. All right, that's been a good little retest now of the 50% of this one's wick. That's a perfect retest. Can we fly now?
Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah. Just want it to break and just go. Oh, good one, Robert. Rob D. He's just giving Dave. He's followed the study session with where you presented. Come on, keep going. Just finally get like a lovely close outside this area. That was a nice retest. But I want it to break above out of this range. It's amazing how many times you see this. You see like this candle and then this candle, and then price just does indeed just stay inside this area for a while. Put it on the daily trade channel. Cool, let's have a look. Looks like German's coming back for another retest. So US yen. Support resistance 68 first structure.
Just ignore those first structures down lower. That was just me with that other trap one short. So ignore that. I'm referring to the.
You look at this one.
The areas above, yeah. So don't.
First structure, and then you got people looking, breakout buyers. They got
And
trapped.
they're either looking for. So if you look to the left, you'll see that where it was definitely structure, but then there's sort of stronger structure higher up. There's also a very clear trend line. There's also a fib, like a more important fib point. So I guess it was a confluence of different styles of traders, all looking for continuation to that higher point that enticed them to jump in at that point. That was the basis for my trade.
Okay, and they ended up being that bearish engulfing candle.
Yeah. And now I think I broke it down further so you can see. Like that zone in particular was where I put mine instead of it just being a. So here's.
So now we're on the 5-minute chart. So before it was 4 hours. So this was where it was breaking the high. This is the high of. This is the bearish engulfing candle wick. The early breakout buyers, the bell curve entry, the late entry at the very top. Yeah, makes sense. So then as price comes up, you start seeing reactions as well along the way. Then you were entering at the bell curve entry where majority got in, not necessarily the late entries. So once they were becoming that bearish engulfing candle, so the bearish engulfing candle was like, that was the top wick, and on the 4 hour ended up being like this. Now as price makes its way back up again into the area where a lot of people were looking to break out buy before they became this bearish engulfing wick, holding that drawdown, as price gets back up to their entry, it gives them a chance to get out of jail after holding all that drawdown, unlikely to hold it to go into profit. So this becomes a self-fulfilling sell area as these previous buyers start exiting their positions. Am I on the right track so far?
Well, that's how I saw it.
Yeah. So price came up, back up to it after them holding all this drawdown. See the first time they react, where the early breakout buyers, so just above these wicks, got in, and then the majority of buyers were where they get it, like the bell curve of entry. So you got early entry, most people get it. Oh geez, I'm not going to draw that again.
That's a different curve.
Yeah,
it's
different curve.
Yeah, it's called something else.
But then where most of them got in, that was where you're anticipating the buyers to get out, which will lead to a bearish reaction. Nice. 8 pip stop loss. 100 pip target.
Well, it was so I triggered when it was overnight, so it triggered me in within 1 pip, which is pretty crazy.
That's 19 pip stop loss.
Yeah, it is 19 pips. That's what I wrote. So stop loss.
Oh, stop loss 8 pips above. Sorry. I should just keep.
So I was trying to work out if it does extend to the top of the zone, how much allowance do I have to have for it breaching the top of the trap exit zone? So
nice. 5 to 1. I've got to go back to DAX. We're in that buy area now.
Break support, yeah.
Okay, so couldn't get out of that little range box. And eventually it broke to the underside. So now we're at that line. Okay, so now I'm looking to see, can I get a candle like this to go long? Now it's the waiting game. So 1 minute, little liquidity candle. Pretty low confirmation time frame. Come on. Two minute, close right back on that wick. 3 minute. Okay, breaking back above here is looking good. If it does that. Breaking back above, and this 5 minute potentially closing bullish. Spike and grabbing that liquidity. Or is it just going to keep on going down? So if it doesn't give a liquidity candle, so I'm looking for anything underneath this area. As far down as to this next gray zone. This will be, then you'll be at Asian low. So this is where I'm waiting for that confirmation to give me the entry that I like. The entry's liquidity candle on the 3 minute or plus. So engulfing candle, candles like this essentially. Or like this. So 5 minute closed convincingly outside of that range. So maybe it's going to dig a little deeper. Patel, yeah, I'm not going to look at gold. Gold's not very good generally in London session, and the move's already happened, I think. I can see on the price on the side on my terminal that was still at 2032, so there's nothing going on. So it goes to 900, 890. Yeah, so anywhere under here is good, I think. I think we needed this. So every 3 minutes that goes by, I'm just waiting to see how it performs. I won't forget about the 4 hour candle though. As well, because that one's got 2 hours to close. So if it's getting close and it's close to that and it's looking like it's going to close quite strong bearish, then this could be we could be back inside of this 4 hour range. So then it does open the doors for a deeper correction. Oh, pretty big move now actually. Has there been this the Gindos was talking, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was well done.
7:45, wasn't it? So German economy will recover but needs some changes. Don't see the Red Sea situation affecting. Okay. Alright, well, I'm just going to keep an eye on this next grey zone now. Oh yeah, for sure, Marin, that'd be great. Sorry, is that Peter? Oh, Brett, go on.
Yeah. Hey, if there'd been a rejection candle between those zones, Hayden, would you have taken that or just watch that and maybe go down to the next zone?
No, in between this green line and this zone?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would. But I would keep my stop loss underneath. Yeah.
Okay.
So the zones are helping with where I put my stop loss, but if it is between here, anywhere inside of here, because the Asian low doesn't need to be broken. It could just be testing the bottom of this Asian low area. So if it gave a rejection candle like say here, then I would take that, but I'll just keep my stop loss underneath the zone.
Ah, yeah, righto, good.
If it breaks and closes underneath this zone though, underneath this one, then there's a little bit too much bullish pressure that's crept in now. So then what I'd want to wait and see is price to start rejecting from underneath here and potentially starting to come back above again and then looking to go back up. Because entering underneath this second zone is, it could just bounce off of that. So I'd like to see it something actually close back above it. Very small opening M5 range today. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was just, it literally did nothing for a long time. Created that range and then started dropping. So it gave like, from this little area, it didn't really give much. It gave 10, yeah. Not enough to have really made a good trade at all. Baron, but yeah, for sure. Let's line that up for a study session. That'd be great. Oh, okay, Jaro. See you later. Toby Dreams. Did you know about FU candles? Yeah, so it's somewhat a while ago when I was trading. Actually said, oh, you some of the stuff you look at similar to this. I don't want to say names, but this thing. So I had a look, and there is some similarity, but it's essentially it's like engulfing candles. It was just had a catchy name, so a lot of people were calling it. So I've mentioned it whenever it's been there in case someone recognizes it. But like I call it liquidity candle, other people call it engulfing candles, other people call it FU candles. It's the same thing. The 4 hours actually looking like it's doing that now on this, like this one. So we've got to wait to see what's going to happen down here. At the moment, it finally came down into the area, but it's given no entry, no buy signal at all. How can you identify when it's forming? They usually react like this one. They don't just happen randomly. They should happen at some area. So like this is what I said on at the start of the session. I said you've got two ranges going on. You've got the bulk of the New York session on the 30-minute candles, like there, and then you've also got this little consolidation. And I like to use the closing prices, so you can see that this is like that little range inside a bigger range, and price pushed up into it, and it literally is like pretty spot on to this. Like if this is a consolidation, there's been like a build up of liquidity here, and this candle in pre-London has pushed up, tapped into it, and now it's reacting. So that's the buyer's trap. Now often when you see these liquidity candles, these wicks, it doesn't mean I change my bias because price is going down, because a lot of the time when you do see these liquidity candles or FU candles or engulfing candles, whatever you call them, price often retests this wick, so you can still get trades back up to that area. It depends on what your target's going to be. If price was bouncing off structure and we're maintaining that really bullish trend, then I'd say the upside of that trade could be a lot higher. But if we're now looking like, obviously the volume's to the downside, isn't it? So unless you'd pick the volume going down to the downside, you don't want to catch a falling knife, but you can easily get now, as price pushes down, when it gets to a sensitive area on the left, you can look and see and get like a 20-30 pip scalp. Sometimes that scalp is actually going to be really nice, but don't like get into a trade to take profit like way up here. Initially, like if it is going to be counter trend, then treat your take profit as appropriately. Like look for a little correction first, secure. Just by any chance, it could actually start forming higher lows. Takes a while to turn around, starts breaking up. Then you've just caught the low, but you don't always get the low. Sometimes you're better off just make sure you scalp 20-30 pips. That might be the institutional point. Do you mean like where they're selling to buy from, and that's what causing the sell-off is? Or do you mean this point? The start of the selling point. I don't know. I think everything's so bullish still that I think this is a sell to buy move still. It's just you just want to be careful that you don't get caught in buying something when maybe they're looking to push in even deeper. So that's why it's really important to have. You can have your bias, you can have your zones, but you really need to have how you get into the trade as well. And that's having all of those in alignment, and having all of those together should give you a good edge. And just remember, like even the best traders are only going to get somewhere between like you're doing really well if you're making somewhere between 60 or 70% win rate. So that's still, you know, you got to make sure that you can still be wrong quite easily 30 to 40% of the time on where price is on your actual trade. So you really need to make sure that one single loss doesn't put you on tilt, because you're going to be wrong a lot. Well, that's what makes trading so profitable as well, is that if you can manage your emotions and like understand your risk management, know that most traders come into this and they're going to be wrong a lot, but a lot of them aren't prepared to handle how they are wrong. So when they hold on to trades, so when you see big moves like this, or fast moves or false moves, you know that there's a lot of people being caught in trades, and they're probably moving their stop losses and doing all the normal stuff that traders do. And it starts becoming predictable patterns over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, well, it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock, so it's getting high time for a coffee. So that could be the signal for the reversal. What would it be a trade trigger from here for you? Like I said, I want to see a rejection candle. So I like to see something that's got like sweeping the lows. Like if I see a double bottom, something like that at a level, then if something is breaking that double bottom and then close as something like that, where it breaks the low of the double bottom or the previous candle and then closes bullish, I would say that's it. I'd give that a go. Whether you want to wait to see if the next candle pulls back a little bit, I find most of the time you'll just go with something like this as soon as it closes. Sometimes the problem is if you're always waiting for it to close, sometimes this candle can become a monster. Or if you're not waiting for it to close, sometimes it can be looking great and then it can just flip back and it could actually close as something not looking so good. So it's risky entering before it closes, but you really want to just you also don't want this to be like a 1 minute candle most of the time, because you will get faked into trades on the 1 minute. So I'm sure there would be some sort of like little entry here. So if you're looking at the 1 minutes, like that could have been a signal, that could have been a little signal, preferably if it's bullish engulfing, or preferably if price comes down and starts actually making like breaking. Yeah, what Glenn's drawing. So it would have been nice if this high had closed above this neckline, because then it would be potentially a trend reversal pattern starting.
Have a look at the silver box though.
This one.
Yeah, we swept the low and then retested the top of it.
So 3 minute or 4 minute, maybe it gives it to you. Yeah, that looks. If this can just be the fake out now, Like that looks like a lovely fake out sort of pattern. Is M3 my lowest? Usually it's my lowest. But I reserve the right to take a trade on 1 minute. No Euro USD trade? No, I don't trade Euro USD. Marin, you're a chicken again this morning, were you? Forward testing, volley band, EG. Cut it short, H1 candle so bearish. Oh, they can't, yeah. I'm finding more and more that when I'm in the trade at my level and I've got it, just walk away. Don't look at the price.
I've been caught up in those in pips.
It has.
Yeah, it actually
50 pips.
half a pip.
50 pips for Asian. For London, sorry. Nas, gold's starting to pull back now.
Yeah.
So Nas, IF48. This looks much cleaner on Nas than it has on German.
Well, the entry was cleaner on us.
Do you trade the same amount, or would today be a low risk day? No, I usually trade the same amount. Usually, like when I go lower risk, it's not too much lower. What percentage do I risk per trade? I don't use percentages, so I use fixed lots. So it depends on how much is in my account. So sometimes it can be high, sometimes it can be low. Depends. Like last week, I did a withdrawal because I had a really good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday was bad. So. And I probably did risk. I did risk. I took more shots. I didn't risk more, but I took more shots than I should have. I felt like I even said felt like I was really fighting price, and just wasn't working out for me. So I gave back more profits than I would have liked to on Thursday. And I knew that if I had done the withdrawal, I would have reset my expectations, and I wouldn't have been as aggressive. So I wasn't really happy with myself on Thursday, so I did a withdrawal, and then on Friday I traded still, and then Friday was a good day. 2 losses, but then got the trade, the one I wanted, which moved really well. And then I did another withdrawal on Friday. So my account is back quite small. So I'm just using fixed lots again. So risk percentage right now is a bit higher. Like it's going to be up around 3-4%. But that will get smaller because I don't really change my lot sizes too much. Whether it's rightly or wrong thing to do, that's the way I like to do it. Because I did make I was saying to my people on the weekend about like what I do with my profits, because I don't find there's any reason to keep it in your account. I really don't think so, unless you are someone that does like to use percentage. But end of the day, it's just money sitting there. I could always add more to it, to my account, if I wanted to, but the money that's just sitting there, it does, like, if something happened bad, I could risk losing more, or I can get ahead of myself, or I could just withdraw it and then buy something with it. And what I mean by buy is like invest it, actually put it into something that's either specific stocks, shares, ETFs, savings accounts, my daughter's cash ISA, things like that. What's my thoughts on CFD versus spread bet in the UK? So spread betting's, like I don't take advantage of it, but it's apparently you don't need to declare what you make on it. It's like gambling. So, but if you are a professional trader, and my understanding of it is that if you don't need to declare anything you make on your spread, like I'm not a tax guy for sure, so please don't take this to the grave with you. But my understanding is whether you come down as a professional trader or not. And a professional trader would be someone that makes more money from trading than your normal job, your normal occupation. If you are, and you do, then you've got to pay tax regardless. If it is your main income, you need to declare it. So spread betting is not tax-free. You always need to pay. So, and then CFDs will come down to whatever lands in your bank account, to me, is taxable income.
It's okay. You don't have to pay tax on zero, though, so it's all right.
Yeah, that's another reason why it's good to have other income streams, for sure. And for me as well, when so we bought this place that I'm in, because we were renting before, and we had places, but this is not my home country. But now that my daughter's born, we wanted the security of owning our place with her. Plus we wanted to make some changes to the place. So we bought this one, and we're tossing up whether we buy it outright or we buy it with a mortgage, so that we could keep capital. Because the thing is, when I go back to Australia, I'm going to need to have money aside. I don't want to have it all tied up into property and stocks and things like that. But we decided against the mortgage because I couldn't get a mortgage myself here. So it comes under Sarah's name. I shouldn't say my partner's name. It would only, if we went mortgage, it would only be her, because my income with trading, the banks don't look at that as consistent enough to give you an offer. So you need to have alternate incomes, and I've got alternate incomes, but everything's domiciled in Australia. So it makes it really tough that if you're trading for a living, it makes it really tough for you to get, like, if you needed a loan or anything like that, it makes it really, really hard.
It can be the same in Indices, right?
Sorry. What'd you say?
One of the biggest financial mistakes I ever made was pay the house off when I didn't really need to. I just felt like I could, so I did.
You lost access to that capital.
Yeah. About 8 months later, I tried to get sort of a small portion of it back out, and all of a sudden it was hard work.
Yeah. So in Australia is really good because, I mean, you've got them here as well. You've got those offset accounts.
Cool.
That's what my mother did. So she she paid down her loan mortgage all the way down to basically nothing, but then just left the remaining portion. So it was really, really slow, only really small monthly transactions that were coming out. But then she had money in an offset account, so it was offsetting the interest. So she was basically paying just a tiny amount, like $100 or something a month, for the mortgage. But then had access to, like, you know, a lot of money. If you ever need, if something ever came out, you could just take it out of equity.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the way my partner and I have always done it.
Dougal's saying the same thing. Offset mortgage, whenever you have money in the bank, deducted from a mortgage capital. Yeah, it's a good way to do it. Especially if you're locked in like a low rate beforehand. Damn, man, this thing. That's the problem. Is that if we got the good entry above here, it would have looked much better for the upside. But now that it pushed down and it dropped into this grey area, now this becomes a potential problem. That's where it reacted from. Only moved up 20 pips. So it's looking, there's a lot of momentum now to the downside. I was really planning, sorry. Don't want anyone to think that was the trade box, that was the idea box. Great advantage of a minus income from trading is no tax to pay. Yeah, you can declare your losses as tax credits, can't you? What strat do I trade? I trade. I really don't know how to describe it. It's something, a whole bunch. It's basically looking for zones of interest, points of interest, and then I wait for a reaction from it. But I've got a fundamental idea of where I like to trade, but that's like, fundamentals don't give you any real clue of timing. The technicals give you the clue of timing. But I've got an idea where things go, fundamentally. Not that that's always right, but I could be bullish on equities, and then today I could look for a sell. So each session you could have a different bias. You could have a session bias based on that's different to your overall bias. Dan looking for bias from 850. So on the 4-hour time frame, yeah, there's really nothing now until. Let's have a look at these wicks. Is this a golfing? No, it's not a golfing candle wick. The next one is this guy. That stands out to me. Oh, what's this music? This music's gonna be copyright. Are trading losses tax deductible in Australia against other income? It is if trading's your main income. But it's like if you went and bet on the horses and you lost, look, I can't deduct that. So I think it depends on your circumstances. What do I think of EAs? The trade index opens. EAs are hard. Like, it's hard to get something that's fully automated. So I don't mind them, and you can get some that have an edge, but they're not easy. The hardest thing that I found, like, we could have a profitable strategy, and we've had profitable strategies that we've used, but the problem was always setting the targets. Stop losses weren't too much of a problem to set if you just stop losses weren't too hard at the start, but then how do you trail a stop loss, and then how do you optimize it for target setting? I found that was really the hardest part about designing an EA around equity open. 30 minutes is a bit. Yeah, I was really hoping this was going to be the move. So I could be interested. I'm gonna get a coffee. I'm just gonna see how this next little few candles can form. At the moment, the trend is very clear to the downside. So when it is doing things like this, because I do like the idea of like there is a bit of a channel, I guess you can call it, as well. So as we do get into these areas, I think there could be a chance to like at least salvage like a scalp. But I want to see something that's kind of like pushing. I'll explain it when I get back from my coffee. But basically, when it looks so clear for sells, there's going to be a chance when it's breaking to the downside, and they can get like a nice little reaction. What I'd also like to see is if maybe even if it made a leg lower, and then look for it to happen. Once this has pushed down, say like if it can push down like another 25 pips into like the 16,850 zone, then we would have made getting close to 80 pips for the London session, which is on par with average. So that would be getting down as well to this London low. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wait for that now. That London low area, because I did have some areas across here that I was looking at. So I wouldn't mind seeing something bounce off of one of these. But I've got to get a coffee because I'm fading. Okay, so I'll be back. I'll be back in a few minutes. Actually, Trading Nut stream, if you want to keep watching, move over to the Haydos FX YouTube channel because I want to close this tab down. Alright guys, my channel, gonna keep going. Trading Nut stream, move over to Haydos FX, otherwise I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, there was news. Gosh, there's a lot of speakers. ECB's Casimir, ECB's Centino. These weren't scheduled to speak. Only DeGindos was scheduled to speak. But that sounds dovish. So I wonder if this is going to be a sell to buy move.
You see, Nas did a full correction.
Did it? Did it now? Gosh. Where's gold at now? Gold breaking. Gold. Oh, still here. Jesus. Alright. So this does sound dovish. Saying should start cutting rates sooner. No need to wait for first quarter wage data in May to make decisions. Almost all factors that drove prices up have dissipated. But now Casimir, this is what I mean, it's kind of annoying when there's no news scheduled. You just get these random people just come on. Still looking, I'm still going to see if they can bounce from this area. Otherwise I'll just have to have a look and say like, well, there was a little opportunities inside of here. Would have only been up like 10 pips profit maximum. But then once we got down to my area, I haven't had one single entry. This is the closest, this candle, but I hate that kind of candle. That's just is your engulfing candle. It did sit on here, but then even that, it gave you like a 14 pip move. So there's been like little moves. Obviously the trend is down, which if you picked it from the start, then congratulations. Well, I'm looking to see if we can find something. If we can't, then I'll just have to come back in New York session. Oh yeah, good point, Robert. Robbie, you're saying if the income is taxed, then if you declared your losses, it would be tax credits. I mean, yeah, they can't tax it if you make it, and then not give you credit if you lose it. For a minute. All right, let's have a look. So how far have we moved now? We've moved 30 minutes. 60. Did you take that, Dan? I wasn't looking at the 4 minute. What do you see, Glenn? Do you see this? Or do you see this?
I was actually in a. I didn't enter down on this sucker. I missed that. I was already in a position up here, so I was in drawdown, and I've just closed it when it broke that block.
Alright.
When it broke this high. Still heavy bearish.
This is the first good sign. The potential of the first good sign. So if we can push down, correct some of this move. Kind of sucks when you see the trend like this now, because now you realize you're looking for a counter. Uh, 1 minute HCS, you're saying, Ivan? With these two? Alright, well, YouTube people, I'm going to call it there. I'm going to look for buys from this little zone if it pushes down there, or even this zone here. So both of these zones, and see if we can get a reaction. My people, I'm going to stay on. I'm going to keep this stream running. It's just YouTube. I'm going to close it down. Alright guys, so it was a slow start and then price pushed down. If you did take the sells, congrats, that was the move of the day. Well, so far, the move of the session for sure. Now I need to salvage something from here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. My stream, my Zooms, I'm not going anywhere.